to Icons of Influence, the podcast that goes beyond the spotlight to explore how today's biggest names are shaping the world in ways far beyond their industries. I'm Hannah Halley, and today we're talking about an artist who changed the rules of the game, an artist who redefined what success looks like in hip-hop. Chance the Rapper is more than just a musician. He's an independent powerhouse, a Grammy-winning artist, a philanthropist, and a community leader who puts his hometown of Chicago at the heart of everything he does. He turned down record deals, revolutionized streaming, and built a career entirely on his own terms. But how did he do it? And why does he continue to be such an influential figure in both music and activism? That's what we're diving into today. Stay with us. This is a story of talent, determination, and giving back. Chance the Rapper, born Chancellor Jonathan Bennett on April 16, 1993, grew up on the south side of Chicago, a city that would shape both his music and his activism. His father was an aide to former Chicago Mayor Harold Washington and later worked for Barack Obama. With that kind of background, Chance grew up in a politically engaged household, but his passion was always music. As a teenager, he started making a name for himself in Chicago's underground rap scene, blending elements of gospel, soul, and jazz with raw, introspective lyricism. His breakthrough came in 2012 when he released his debut mixtape, 10 Day, which he recorded while on a 10-day suspension from high school. The project gained local attention and showcased his talent for storytelling and unique production choices. But it was Acid Rap, his second mixtape released in 2013, that made him a national name. The project was a masterclass in vibrant, genre-blending hip-hop, featuring collaborations with artists like Childish Gambino and Twista. Unlike most rising rappers at the time, Chance did something unheard of. He gave the mixtape away for free. No label, no traditional distribution, just raw music for the fans. It was a move that signaled his rejection of industry norms and his belief in a new way of building a career. Instead of chasing a record deal, Chance capitalized on streaming and direct engagement with his fans. He saw the future of music distribution before most mainstream artists did, using platforms like SoundCloud to grow his audience organically. By refusing to sign with a label, he retained full ownership of his music and creative freedom. It was a risky move, but one that would pay off in a big way. Chance's biggest industry shakeup came in 2016 with the release of Coloring Book, a project that wasn't just another mixtape, it was a movement. By this point, Chance had already made a name for himself as an independent artist who refused to conform to the traditional music industry model. But Coloring Book took things to an entirely new level. This wasn't just a project, it was a declaration of independence. For starters, Coloring Book wasn't released on a major label. In fact, it wasn't sold at all. It was streamed exclusively on Apple Music for 2 weeks before becoming available for free across all platforms. This was a radical departure from the standard album release model. No CDs, no digital purchases, just pure streaming. This move sent shockwaves through the industry, proving that music consumption had changed forever. The impact of Coloring Book was undeniable. It debuted at number 8 on the Billboard 200 chart, based purely on streams, no sales whatsoever. At the time, that was practically unheard of. The project also received universal acclaim, with critics praising its gospel-infused production, uplifting themes, and Chance's signature storytelling. Tracks like No Problem, featuring Lil Wayne and 2 Chainz, became anthems of artistic freedom. The song was essentially a warning shot to record labels, with Chance openly declaring that he didn't need their backing to succeed. And he was right, but the true game changer came at the 2017 Grammy Awards. For years, the Recording Academy only recognised albums that were commercially sold, meaning that streaming-only projects weren't even eligible for consideration. Chance, however, changed that. His success with Coloring Book forced the Grammys to update their rules, allowing streaming-exclusive releases to be considered for awards. And the result? Coloring Book made history by becoming the first ever streaming-only album to win a Grammy. And not just one. Chance walked away with 3 awards that night, including Best New Artist, Best Rap Performance, and the groundbreaking Best Rap Album, beating out industry giants like Drake, Kanye West and DJ Khaled. This wasn't just a win for Chance, it was a win for independent artists everywhere. His victory proved that artists no longer needed a major label machine to achieve mainstream success. He had built his career through direct fan engagement, innovative distribution, and an unshakable belief in his own artistic vision. Beyond the Grammys, Chance's approach to music distribution forced the industry to take streaming more seriously. Following his success, we saw more artists experimenting with streaming first releases, and major platforms like Spotify and Apple Music leaned even harder into exclusive content deals. He had set a precedent that the music world couldn't ignore. And the best part? He did it all while staying true to himself. No compromises, no shortcuts, just pure, unfiltered creativity. His success wasn't just about breaking records, it was about breaking barriers. And in doing so, Chance the Rapper redefined what it means to be an artist in the digital age. While Chance's influence in music is undeniable, his impact outside the studio might be even more impressive. Unlike many artists who use their success to distance themselves from their hometowns, Chance has always remained deeply connected to Chicago, and not just in words, but in action. One of the biggest ways Chance gives back is through his non-profit organisation, Social Works. Founded in 2016, Social Works focuses on empowering youth through the arts, education, and civic engagement. But this isn't just another celebrity charity with a famous name attached. Chance is directly involved in the initiatives and puts his own money where his mouth is. One of his most headline-grabbing philanthropic moves came in 2017 when Chance donated $1 million to Chicago Public Schools, CPS. This wasn't just a symbolic gesture, it was a direct response to funding cuts that were putting arts programs, teachers and students at risk. His donation kick-started a wave of contributions, inspiring companies and fellow artists to step up. But Chance didn't stop at a one-time donation. Through Social Works, he launched the new Chance Fund, which has since raised over $5 million to support CPS arts and after-school programs. This funding helps keep music, theatre and visual arts programs alive in schools that might otherwise have lost them. For Chance, this is personal. He has often spoken about how arts education shaped his childhood and gave him an outlet for creativity. By investing in young artists, he's not just giving back, he's ensuring the next generation has the same opportunities he did. Chance also recognised that Chicago's youth face more than just academic struggles. That's why he's been a strong advocate for mental health awareness, particularly within the Black community. In 2019, Social Works launched My State of Mind, an initiative aimed at improving mental health resources for young people in underserved communities. Through this program, Social Works has helped fund mental health resources, establish wellness spaces in schools, and provide free therapy services. Chance has also used his platform to speak openly about mental health, encouraging conversations that break the stigma around seeking help. Separately to this, having grown up in Chicago, Chance has seen firsthand the impact of gun violence on his community. While many politicians and activists discuss solutions, Chance has taken a proactive role by supporting grassroots organisations that work directly with affected communities. He has partnered with Chicago Beyond, a philanthropic investment fund dedicated to supporting local leaders and programs that address youth violence. He has also collaborated with anti-violence initiatives like Good Kids Mad City and has used his concerts, speeches and social media to advocate for policy changes that promote public safety and social justice. And it doesn't stop at financial contributions. Chance has personally attended city council meetings, met with Chicago officials, and spoken directly to young people affected by violence, offering mentorship and support. His activism isn't just about headlines, it's about hands-on change. Chance's commitment to his city has also led him into the world of political activism. He has been an outspoken advocate for criminal justice reform, voting rights, and racial equity. In 2018, he endorsed progressive candidates in Chicago elections, urging young people to engage in the political process. His voter registration drives have helped mobilize thousands of first-time voters, particularly in Black and Latinx communities. He even partnered with Lyft to provide free rides to polling places, ensuring that transportation barriers wouldn't prevent people from making their voices heard. And when it comes to police reform and government accountability, Chance isn't afraid to challenge leadership. He famously confronted then-Mayor Rahm Emanuel over the handling of police violence cases in Chicago, demanding greater transparency and justice for victims of brutality. Chance the Rapper's philanthropy isn't just about giving money, it's about systemic change. He's redefining what it means to be an artist activist, proving that success isn't just about personal achievement, but about uplifting the community that raised you. His work with social works continues to evolve, funding everything from youth coding programs to food insecurity initiatives. And through it all, he remains deeply involved, personally showing up for the people he's trying to help. Chance's impact is a reminder that true influence isn't measured by record sales or Grammy wins. It's measured by how many lives you change for the better. And in that sense, Chance the Rapper is one of the most influential artists of his generation. One of the most fascinating things about Chance the Rapper is how he's managed to balance being an artist, entrepreneur, and activist, all without following the traditional industry blueprint. In an era where most musicians rely on major labels, streaming deals, and corporate partnerships to make it big, Chance built his empire his own way. When Chance released his 2016 mixtape coloring book, he made history. Not only was it the first streaming-only project to win a Grammy Award, but it also cemented Chance as the face of a new wave of independent artists, proving you don't need a record label to succeed. Unlike many artists who sign contracts for financial security, Chance took a different approach. He bypassed labels entirely, choosing to self-release his music for free on platforms like SoundCloud. This was a radical move at the time. Most artists relied on record deals for marketing, distribution, and radio play, but Chance found a way to do it all on his own terms. By giving away his music, he built a loyal fan base that supported him in other ways, through concert tickets, merchandise, and sponsorships. And rather than splitting profits with a label, Chance negotiated direct partnerships with companies like Apple Music, which paid him to release Coloring Book exclusively on their platform for a limited time. His success forced the industry to take independent artists seriously, proving that musicians could retain ownership of their work, control their creative vision, and still achieve mainstream success. He became a blueprint for a new generation of artists who wanted to take control of their careers. Chance didn't stop at music. He expanded into multiple industries, using his influence to create opportunities beyond the studio. One of his most notable ventures was his investment in Chicago's media and creative scene. In 2019, he bought Chicagoist, a popular local news site, with the goal of providing independent journalism and highlighting stories that mattered to Chicago's communities. His vision was to create a platform that uplifted local voices, covered social justice issues, and countered the negative media portrayal of his city. In fashion, Chance built his brand around his signature 3 hat, which became one of the most recognizable pieces of artist merch in recent years. While many musicians sell tour merchandise, Chance turned his hat into a fashion staple, selling thousands of units and using the revenue to fund his philanthropic projects. He also ventured into film and theatre, debuting his own concert film, Magnificent Colouring World, which showcased his innovative approach to live performances. And let's not forget his work in Hollywood. Chance has acted in films, lent his voice to animated movies, and even hosted Saturday Night Live, proving his versatility as an entertainer. But what makes Chance unique is how he merges entrepreneurship with activism. Unlike many celebrities who separate their businesses from their philanthropy, Chance integrates his social mission into everything he does. For example, in 2020, he launched House of Kicks, a trainer giveaway initiative that provided free shoes to students in Chicago. He partnered with major brands like Nike and Jordan, but instead of just profiting from a sponsorship, he turned it into a charitable cause, ensuring that kids who couldn't afford high-end trainers had access to them. Similarly, his collaborations with companies like Kit Kat and Doritos weren't just about endorsements. He used these deals to fundraise for social works, directing portions of the proceeds toward youth programs. Chance has proven that you don't have to choose between being a businessman and being socially responsible. You can do both at the same time. What's truly inspiring about Chance is that his career is built on impact, not just income. While many artists measure success by record sales, chart positions, or awards, Chance defines his success by how many lives he can change. He once said in an interview, "I don't make songs for free, I make them for freedom." That statement sums up his entire approach, not just to music, but to life. His independence isn't just about business. It's about having the freedom to uplift his city, challenge the industry, and create opportunities for the next generation. And while some critics have questioned whether his business moves are as lucrative as signing a major deal, Chance has never been interested in short-term gains. He's playing the long game, building a legacy that's bigger than music. Chance the Rapper isn't just an artist. He's a visionary, a community leader, and a blueprint for what it means to use success for something greater than yourself. And that's why his impact will be felt far beyond the charts and the stage. Chance the Rapper is proof that success isn't just about talent. It's about vision, independence, and using your influence for something greater than yourself. He didn't just redefine what it means to be a hip-hop artist, he redefined what it means to be a leader. Whether through groundbreaking music, industry-changing decisions, or tireless work for his community, Chance has shown that true influence isn't measured in sales or chart positions, but in impact. If you found this episode inspiring, be sure to subscribe to Icons of Influence, leave a review, and share it with someone who needs to hear this story. Follow us on social media, and let's keep this conversation going. Until next time, stay inspired, stay independent, and keep making an impact.